Are you taking full ownership for the energy you're bringing to your business? How you show up matters more than you might think. So today I want to talk about 3 tips that will help you create more energy for your business. Welcome to today's Daily Dose of Awesome here at Elite Marketing Pro. So I'm Tracy Chalmers if we haven't met before. And if we have, please say hello and let me know where you're coming in from. And if you're watching this for the first time, say hello. If you're new, welcome. If you're new to our community, I welcome you. So let's talk about the energy you're bringing to your business and how that impacts what happens. All right, so let's get into that today. So think about, hey Jennifer, how are you? Good to see you, girlfriend. So let's think about the energy you bring to your Facebook Lives. Think about the energy you bring to your Zoom meetings, your conferences, maybe your team trainings. Maybe it's that, that first ever Zoom call with a new lead that has come in that has asked you for some more information. What kind of energy are you bringing to that? Hey, Samra, nice to see ya. Daz, hey. Let me know where you guys are coming in from, okay? Now, also, let me know in the comments. Tell me, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most important, and 1 being, whatever, take it or leave it. How important is the energy you bring to your business? How important is that? 1 to 10. Let me know. All right, watching from Virginia, Jennifer. Hello, Mark. Good to see you. And Chuck, hello from South Carolina. I hope everything's better over there for you. Hey, Wendy, SoCal. Good. Cindy. All right, people are hopping in. Let's dive into this. How important is the energy you're bringing to your business? And are you taking full ownership of that? So that's what I want to dive into today. Do you realize, and I'm sure many of you do, because this is not new news, this is common knowledge, but the first few seconds upon meeting someone new is the most pivotal in your business. Would you agree? Give me a thumbs up or a yay if you agree with that, okay? The first 3 to 5 seconds is always the most important few moments in making a first impression, right? So are you bringing the energy and are you taking ownership of what's going to happen in those moments? So think about, let's do a little story here for a minute. Let's think about when you walk into a party, okay? And we've all been there, where you walk into a party and you quickly scan a situation. Right away, you pick up on where the exciting conversations are happening. You pick up on the energy in the room. You pick up where there isn't energy in the room. You pick up instantly where you want to sort of move to upon entering a party. Would you agree with me? Give me a 1 if you agree with that. So right away, you're drawn to the energy and just what's happening with the folks that are having a conversation or standing against a kitchen island having a drink. Think about an office, all right? How many of you go to your day job day in and day out and you come across coworkers who you just kind of avoid because you know what? They're in one of those moods again. Right? I know when I was doing the JOB situation years ago, there were certain people I avoided because it was like, I don't want to be, in that field of negative energy, right? Hey, Michael, coming in from California. Good to see you. Yeah, Tom. So you get what I'm saying here. So think about how you emit your energy and how you show up and how you present for anything that you're doing with your business. All right? We've all seen it on social media. We see negative stuff all the time. We see, unfortunately, people who are doing Facebook Lives, nobody in our community, because we all know better, don't we? But we see people doing Facebook Lives and they're kind of sitting there and they're like, okay, well, let's, whatever. How likely are you to continue watching that live? I know I wouldn't. I would just scroll on by. It would not compel me to stop. The energy that person is putting out is not energy I'm choosing to have in my newsfeed. It's not energy I would want to spend any time with because it's going to bring me down, right? Give me a 2 if you would agree with that. So the energy you show up with instantly in any situation is really important to your business. So that's what I want to talk about today and encourage you to try a few of these things to help you boost your confidence, put out more energy and light your business on fire. So think about this. Your energy either draws or repels people from you. Okay? So number one, and if somebody can drop these in the comments for me, that'd be fantastic. Number one, set your intentions on how you will show up. All right? So before you start your Facebook Live, before you hop on that Zoom call, if you're still doing traditional sit down one-on-ones at coffee shops, set your intention before you get there, because that is going to play a major role in that person that you're meeting with, the lead or the prospect or your new teammate when you're onboarding, or maybe your team training that you're doing. That instantly is going to set them up for a position of either buying what you've got, taking your advice, or feeling like they can actually know, like, and trust you. Okay, that's a huge factor when it comes to building your business, that know, like, trust factor. And that often is established in the first early moments. It's kind of it's a biological response. It's visceral. Like, people don't even consciously think about it. It just automatically happens. Either you are digging somebody's presence or you're repelled from it, right? Give me a thumbs up if you agree with that. So right away, set your mental intention on how you're going to show up, all right? In Brendon Burchard, one of his books, I can't remember, but in one of his books, he talks about triggers. And I really liked this idea because I think triggers can be a really good reminder or just something that triggers you to remember these tips. So you may want to set something like this up for yourself, but he talks about door frames. So whenever he's walking into a room, whether it be on a stage, he walks through a door frame onto a stage, or perhaps, your own office, a home office door. Like when you walk through that door frame, he thinks bring joy. So the trigger he has in his mind with door frames is bring joy. I thought that was kind of cool. I really thought that was kind of cool. Why not adopt all that? You know what? We can bring more joy into this world. And if you set yourself up the moment you walk through your office door, whether it be a home office or, a work office, or coming in from the garage into the home, your home, to see your wife and your children, walk through that door frame and think, bring joy, right? That sets that kind of positions you, right? It sets you up. It's your headspace. You're ready to go, and you're going to do that. So come up with a trigger for yourself, something that really resonates, that speaks to you, that will remind you that when you see a door frame or something, right, that it reminds you to do that. So when you're walking into that door, so let's say you're coming in after a long day at work, if you work outside the home still, if this isn't your full-time gig, and you come in and you're exhausted, you've probably had a crappy day because you're at the job, right? And you come in through your door, whether it's your garage door from your mudroom or your front door or whatever it looks like, think to yourself, who needs me at my best right now? You're walking into your family. You're walking into your spouse, your wife, your husband. You're walking into your partner. You're walking into your children. Do they need you at your best? They absolutely do. So set yourself up with that intention that who needs me at my best and what can I bring to them to be my best, all right? So think about that. And, or even when you're about to hop on a Zoom call with that new lead, that new prospect, what do they need from me right now? And how can I be my best? Be creative, be positive, be nurturing, be unique, right? Be the person, be, do, have, do, be. How about be, do, have? Okay? Be the person they need you to be, all right? Leave the drive outside. Tom, exactly. Yeah. And that's, it's easier said than done for a lot of folks because, after a full day of frustration or maybe a terrible commute, that drive can just be like, You know, I know I used to be like that in my previous career. I would be strung out by the time I got home. But you know what? That's it. My kids bring joy. I bring joy to them. They bring joy to me. I was always thrilled to see my husband. So there we go. Very cool, Mark. That's right. Bring joy. All right. So number 2, show up with presence. Okay? Show up with presence. Be that unique person. Show up with something that's different from the vast majority of stuff you see out there. A few moments ago, I talked about how many times on social media we see complaining and calling people out and bullying and all that kind of stuff. Show up with positive presence, and show up with a presence of confidence, right? You want to smile. You want your chin up. You want to have your shoulders back. Let them know that you have shown up and you're ready to give your best and you're ready to be who they need you to be, okay? Show up with presence. Exude full confidence, right? When you walk into a room, when you walk into a party, when you walk, onto a stage, when you show up on a Zoom call for your team training, don't just like, hi, yeah, okay, let's get this started. I'm Tracy. How are you? Instead, show up and hey guys, I'm Tracy Chalmers. Nice to see y'all again. Use your full name. It's very, very powerful. It right away tells people that you are confident and that it's a demanding presence, right? Leave the negative alone. Exactly. People will perk up and go, whoa, there's something different here. And they will respond because you're demanding their attention just by your positive, chin up, shoulders back presence, okay? This really is important when you're doing your thank you video, right? For those of you that don't really know what I'm talking about yet, there are thank you videos that we're going to teach you about over time. But if you do know what I'm talking about, think about your presence on a thank you video. Okay? Think about your Facebook Lives. Think about your Zooms. Think about your team trainings. Okay? Stand up. Be a presence. If you're sitting in your chair, and I've tested this theory myself, but if you're sitting in a chair, you're often a little more relaxed, more casual, right? But if you're standing up and your feet are square and you're standing tall, your shoulders are back, you have an entirely different presence. And along with that presence, your voice changes, your enthusiasm changes. The way you carry and hold yourself in that stance is impactful, okay? There is a book. Let me know if you've heard of Amy Cuddy. She is a Harvard professor, and the book is called Presence? I think Presence. Yes, Presence. We were just talking about presence, duh, right? She's a Harvard professor, and she says that when you have presence and you're standing in an authoritative, but not a dominating, but just a powerful, confident stance, you are biologically priming yourself to have that presence. She talks about the Wonder Woman stance. So let's talk about that for a second. So how many Wonder Woman do I have out here? Put up your hand, give me a hell yeah if you're a Wonder Woman, if you're a badass. And if you're a Superman, put that up too. Superman, I'm here. So let's talk about that stance that Amy refers to, the Wonder Woman pose. That is like hands on your hips, shoulders square, I've got this attitude. She's done research. This gal knows her stuff. She's a Harvard professor. What it does is it prepares you mentally and physically to be that powerhouse, to be that badass, okay? So there's a lot of science behind this. It's biologically priming you to step into that greatness that is required in that moment. So I encourage you guys, you know what, Michael, I think that's correct for the spelling of Cuddy. Yeah, but if you Google it, you'll find it, right? But I really encourage you all to test this out. Take a few moments and before you hop on your Facebook Live, give yourself a couple of these, and get yourself primed and ready to go. It makes all the difference. And try standing. I'm standing now. I feel far more powerful right now than I do when I'm sitting in my desk chair. All right? So number 3. Oh, you know what? Actually, you know what? I want to mention one other thing before I go to number 3. I'm going to leave you hanging. It's an open loop, right? Think about 100-meter track sprinters. And why this idea came into my head earlier when I was preparing this live is because my daughter was a national level competitive sprinter. And I would observe how the sprinters would line up prior to the race starting. Just, you know, they're warming up, getting ready for their blocks. 9 times out of 10, those sprinters would stand with their hands on their hips, and they would be posturing, right? They would be in the zone, they'd be looking down the track at that finish line, and they would have their hands on their hips, and they would be getting ready. They'd be shaking their legs out, they'd be kind of like, you know, getting their game face on. So that's just another example of how powerful that biological priming is. So if it works for high level Olympic and all the way down to national level sprinters, it's going to work for you. Oh, Tom, you're going to need a bigger truck. Well, then go buy one. Go get one. I'm not going to tell you to squash that. Absolutely, go get one. Okay, so let's go on to number 3. Be interested. Don't be interesting. Let's think about that for a sec. Be interested. Don't be interesting. Drop something in the comments if you have an idea of what I mean by that. Okay? Let's think about that for a sec. You walk into a party and, you know, after some observation, you know, you see that one person is over there and really animated with their discussion, and they're this and this, and then I did this, and then I do this, and then this, and me, and me, and me, and me, and me. And everybody is standing around going, That person is trying to be interesting. Yes, Ray, they care more about what they're thinking and saying than really what the people around them are feeling. So I implore you, because this is going to be a really incredible nugget for folks when building their business. Be interested in others and don't try so hard to be interesting yourself. And if you can achieve that, automatically others are going to think you're pretty dynamo. They're going to be really interested in you because you've taken the time to care about them. You've taken the time to be interested in them. So don't be the star of the show, okay? You know, take time and ask them questions. The more questions you can ask somebody you're having a conversation with, think a Zoom call, or a telephone or a 3-way messaging system, talk with one of your leads, the more questions you can ask them and be genuinely interested, right? Be someone that is you know, really captivated with what they have to say. And, you know, don't worry so much about talking yourself. The more questions you ask, the more that person feels like they're being heard and that you're really truly being, you know, you're interested in them, which you are, right? So how many of you have been to, or in a situation? That's right, Mark, it's not all about you. It's not all about me. That's right, exactly. How many of you can relate to this situation? You're in a one-on-one conversation and you're talking about something and all the other person is doing, they're not even really listening to you. All they're waiting for is for you to stop talking so they can tell you something about themselves, right? So they're really not actually listening to what's going on. They're just waiting for you to stop talking so that they can tell you, yeah, but me, and one up your story, okay? That happens all the time. So what's really unique, and if you can do it, is be the one who's interested. Ask questions. Ask clarifying questions. Build on what that person's saying and ask further questions. Offer sincere compliments, right? Nothing makes you feel better when somebody is actually listening to you and then gives you a really heartfelt, sincere compliment based on what you just said. How impactful is that? Okay? So that is showing up in your business, because those people instantly will be drawn to you. They'll be attracted to you, and they'll be like, wow, this person really gets me. They actually really care about what I just said, okay? It will allow you to win people over. It'll increase your sales. Maybe new recruits will join your team. People will be drawn to you. And that helps you create a sense of authority in your business. Know, like, and trust factor. All right? Tell me more, Michael. Exactly. Tell me more. Tell me more about when you did this, this, and this. Be very specific, because that will indicate to that person, like, whoa, they actually were listening, right? So let's recap. Number one, set your mental intention on how you're going to show up. It matters more than you think. Number two, show up with presence. Try that badass Wonder Woman, Superman stance, and see if it gets something for you in the future. See if you're feeling different, if you're getting a different response from people based on trying that chin up, shoulders back. Introduce yourself with your full name. And number three, be interested, not interesting. So if this has been helpful for you today, let me know by dropping a hashtag value or a hearts, or give me a great big couple red hearts in the comments below. Let me know that this was impactful for you. And I thank you. It means a lot to me that I have the privilege and honor to be with this amazing community, and I look forward to seeing you all very, very soon. So we are back Monday through Friday, 1 o'clock Eastern, 10 o'clock Pacific, I think it is, for your daily dose of awesome, your 15 minutes of inspiration, education, and motivation to move your business forward. And as always, it's a privilege, and I enjoyed seeing you all again today. Talk soon. Bye, guys.